some of it.
What do we do with the old story? Where does that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that maybe takes us to who's telling the story. There's a kind of what do we do with it, but there's also a who's the voice of this story? Who is that? And the kind of experience of tracking somebody's movements and physicality and gestures in the moment often gives us a sense of, that story has a limit to it. And the story beneath that is much vaster and more interesting and something we can't necessarily constrain. So it's like this kind of the backward step into story. What can we do with it? Yeah, there's a mysterious question, and that's very personal. So some people like to give it back to the earth if it's not a useful story. Some people sit with it. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about grief recently. Yeah, I recently had an Achilles rupture, and in that space, I was questioning and thinking a lot about accidents and loss. And I read a wonderful book by a guy called Max Porter, who's a poet. And he wrote a book called Grief is a Thing with Feathers, or Grief is the Thing with Feathers. And there's an enormous crow that appears. Is crow grief? I'm not sure. But what crow says is that grief doesn't go away. It's not something you can kind of do something with or get rid of. You sit with it. You get to know it. It gets to know you. Can we turn it round? What is it when we lose something? We're all going to lose something. We all do lose things as human beings. We learn that as we go along. I learned that when you lose the use of a leg, everything changes for a while. Very, very, very important lesson. And we talked about it, Laura, before. I think I asked you a question about why Gestalt therapy? What brought you there? And the answers that you gave were so fascinating. And they don't fall out, like nothing can fall out of the universe. So a story can't disappear, but the way that we look at it, the way we turn that around, that can change. And the way that we look at it through a different lens or from a different perspective, that can give another possibility and a pathway.
It's very interesting because the story that I told as a 23, 24-year-old, 25-year-old about this thing that had happened to me that led me to therapy, it's very different to the story I tell about it today. And both were true at the time, but now with the wisdom of the passage of time and knowing the trajectory that it set me on, it's a very different story that feels more true than the old story was just true in that moment in time, whereas this feels more like the whole story. And I suppose the passage of time is very helpful in that, but maybe not completely necessary, that we can start to redefine a story without knowing exactly where it's going to take us.
Can I ask you a question about that, Laura, just because it piqued my interest there, about these two characters in a way, and I do think a lot in characters, in a sense, younger Laura, 23, 25-year-old Laura, and Laura now, in this different position in your life, both true.
Yeah.
The younger one hasn't exactly gone away, but there have been changes, however we like to think about it. And do you get interested in both now, or are you more interested in this one here, sitting here?
Is part of what's happening. I actually feel a fluttering in my chest as well.
Yeah.
And I suspect it's to do with this younger part of me that was very tethered, ungrounded, lost. And to tell, I guess, a very brief background, I was a primary teacher. I was very stressed and I got very sick and had a brain aneurysm and a stroke at 23. And so my life changed so dramatically just one day. And as I speak about it, I can feel the discombobulation of it. I feel that 23-year-old part of me and I feel some sadness too, that was suddenly so lost. And actually I was already lost, but I was now so lost. Yeah.
And it brings a little emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so I had been lost but kind of hanging by a thread, and then I was raised to the ground just very suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sadness, there's a fear
Yeah.
and a sadness.
And where do you feel that right now?
I think in my chest and my jaw, maybe my eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
Sort of most probably also my chest, a tightness, almost a pain.
Laura, if we stayed with that a little bit longer, if you're up for pausing in that space, and just notice what is that tightness? What is, you've talked about this relationship to your jaw and your chest. There's some emotion. Can you describe a little bit of that experience that you're having?
Actually, when I drop down into it a little, I just get like a feeling of being really sad and an image of me just bawling my eyes out, like just crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the tears there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Big feelings.
Yeah. Like really like sobbing, crying, that kind of image of me. And I don't even know that it was about being sick. I think it's just where I was at in general.
Yeah.
Like
This
that being sick was just sort of another bad thing or another thing that I didn't know what to do with. Yeah.
I'm just going to check in a little bit, Laura, because these are really big histories that you're talking about by the look of it and the feel of it. And at the beginning of our session, you did a very beautiful grounding exercise where you could feel your feet and you noticed where you were and you helped us breathe. And I just want to say, when you're sitting there with me now, I'm here and I'm here with you. I'm very happy to go into that experience. But just whenever you want, you are welcome to just, whatever it is, whether it's you grounding into your chair or a breath, we can just take a breath so that we've got Laura here on board as well. And I mean here by grown-up Gestalt mother.
Yeah.
Laura, just so that we can hold this young one who was in a place in her life, by the sound of it, that was very big and untethered you. So 1 foot in the tether, 2 feet in the tether, and then going back. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So let's just take a big breath together, if that's good, and feel ourselves right here and now in these wonderful chairs in Jordan's studio. And then when you're ready, did something just come up? Yeah, sorry.
Just this compassion and love that present day me feels for younger me. Oh,
I can feel that too.
You were so lost. It's okay. I'm not lost anymore.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Not lost anymore. But back then, so much love to that one.
Yeah.
Do you think she needed to hear something?
Yeah.
Yeah. She needed to feel like something like, hang in there, it's going to be okay later.
Yeah.
This is part of something important, something like that.
Yeah, something important is happening here, not just something bad.
Yeah.
Something important is happening.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's hard.
But it's not just a bad thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that now, but back then you might not have known that.
No.
And you might not have been able to look at what was around you, what was going on, what you were striving for. It's a big time becoming an adult, hey?
Yeah.
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 Where were you actually? Where was your place? Where were you living?
I was living in Ascot Vale and teaching in Glenroy in Melbourne, and suddenly felt like my home was hospitals for 3 months, and then returning back to my home and my life as a different person in some way. And I didn't know in what way.
Yeah.
I assumed in a worse way. Yeah.
So there's that story. This is bad and this is worse than it was before. It's very strong because, of course, the truth is you would have stopped working it would have compromised your body, I'm assuming. Yeah. And did you need to call out for support to people? What kind of people supported you around that time?
My family were
Really?
amazing. They took turns sleeping in the chair in the hospital room for weeks because I didn't want to be by myself.
Oh, that's pretty beautiful.
It's lovely.
They had a little roster?
Yeah.
Wow.
Until the nurses said, this is ridiculous. Stop.
Nurses hadn't been trained in relational healing empathy. Eh? They stopped you, but you got a few weeks of that family being there with you. Your mum and your sisters and your I remember you told me before you had sisters. So
And obviously, the hospital staff were really wonderful. I'll never not be in love with nurses.
Oh, Laura. What kind of qualities, that the care and the value of looking after?
Just so gentle and funny and obliging and caring. Yeah. And I also received cards, like hundreds of cards. Oh. So I guess it was pre-Facebook, so people actually sent a card, Oh. It was just so nice. It's being from the country, I think, means that
So you're in community.
Yeah, you know a lot of people. And
any card that you remember particularly?
I think one from my old primary school principal, just that, hadn't seen him
from when you were little.
Yeah.
So it reached across to a lot of people, your vulnerability, the big thing that had happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people heard about it and came in to support you. Oh, that's very touching.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that touches me very deeply.
It's really special.
Yeah. And those qualities, those caring qualities were part of the fabric of where you grew up and your family, clearly, and actually culturally.